Welcome to the Binary Options Mastery Trading Coaching Programs Review and Overview. So I'm going to explain what's on this page here because in these programs you have training, coaching, etc. We provide a strategy and the main mastery program is here. Okay, we're going to put most of the learning and the inner game training in there, and we're also going to supply a lot of the an initial set of strategies and courses, and we're going to release those over the months, and so you can get started quickly. And we are looking also at evolving these programs a bit more, because our goal is what? Our goal is to turn you into one of the top traders on the planet. Okay, first in binary options, and then on to other forms that allow you to grow bigger. Before I get into all of that, let me just review what these different programs are. So you have the main program, like I mentioned, has the bulk of the education and the inner game education. What's inner game? That's your thought world, that's your emotional world, and that's also strategy and tactics, how to approach the markets. It's also then we go into the more mechanical side of things, into money management and risk reward ratio, how to not only trade as a business, which is a very overused expression, and not well understood and explained, but to actually start your own trading company. Okay, I mean, like in a real trading business. So you can even take one system and then form a trading company around the one system. And all you need is one system, at least to start. You can expand other companies later, but you need one system that you can personally perform in a stable way. That's just rock solid, stable. So stable, consistency, these are two words together that can be very powerful in trading. Most people in the markets chase all sorts of things. They're chasing the spectacular. They're chasing what they call the Holy Grail. Okay, now what's that? That's some mystery concept, whereas you're chasing this thing that you can't obtain, such as 110% winning. Okay, and it's just like this wild goose chase, which is rooted in what? Fear, greed, or a pursuit of an emotional high. Now, fear can come in all sorts of forms and all sorts of shades, and it can be related to all sorts of things going on inside of you. What about this greed concept? It's pretty vague too. Well, what exactly is greed? All right, so we'll start to break down these subcomponents, and once you identify the subcomponents, now you can clearly identify what not to do and turn the negative strategically into a positive. Okay, so you can now have an extra edge against the marketplace. Now, greed is also associated with the pursuit of the exciting emotional experience. You could even argue that most people buy products of all sorts for the sake of what? The emotional experience. That's their value. Most people do most things for the emotional experience. Of course, you have the obvious, such as relationship, but you can go into food, right? And if we keep pursuing that emotional experience into food, you know what happens. Usually get fat and sick, right? Okay. Anyways, before I go off on that tangent, if we pursue emotional experience in the market, well, I mean, you can get pretty good at it, but for most people, they usually end up what? Broke. Okay? Yes. So we'll start to break these types of things down amongst many other things. Okay, we'll even start cracking open some old trading books, and we'll go through those and we'll review and find what made this person successful, and also find the holes in their approach and find what has caused failure in a lot of the famous stories over time. We launched these programs because why? Because it's the next thing that students need. We want more Hall of Fame stories, which means that that's something good for you, okay? Because if you turn into a Hall of Fame story, which means 7 figures, okay? It's 7 figures now, and because students are setting the new levels, okay? So it used to be 6 figures back many years ago. Then we said, you know what? These students are hitting 7 figures, from binaries even and vanilla options. Okay, so these students are hitting it. Let's move up this Hall of Fame board. It's too easy to hit 6 figures. All right, so I don't want you to think of that as something that's like an exaggerated thing. Your goals, which we will cover, need to be very high, because otherwise it's too easy to get lost. Okay, it's too easy to hop from this thing to that thing. It's too easy to avoid the little bit of work it takes to practice out a good method and become good at trading it. Okay, and really, a lot of students, a lot of traders out there are only a couple weeks or a couple months of practicing a good method from becoming a great trader. But, all right, let me finish explaining these. So you have these 2-hour masteries and the home run masteries. Let's start over here. The weekly masteries, 20-minute expiration, the 2-hour expiration, 2-hour, 1-hour binary at Nadex. Then you have the home run mastery and the spreads mastery. So why do we have these other coaching programs? Okay, well, the main coaching is in the main mastery. Okay, so you should sign up for that one. Okay, for starters. Now, this one will have strategies every month too, new strategies. We're going to put out a number of older strategies, which are rock solid, in a series for roughly the first 4 months. And after that, we start going to the new stuff. But we have to have many different approaches here in this general mastery program. Okay, so because it's not focused on any particular expiration. Now, each expiration has its own opportunities. Okay, and then we also have the home run approach, which means that we'll look at whatever expiration, we'll look at spreads too. We'll try to find where we can exploit the markets, exploit price action, really, not the markets, but exploit price action on a price chart to put our position on with a Nadex opportunity, of high reward to low risk. Now, Nadex can change their pricing whenever they want, and their pricing model as they did of recent to adapt to a more volatile market. Okay, but usually they'll adapt back because otherwise people are going to stop trading there. All right. So this is Nadex. Okay, Nadex. But all these most of these strategies can be applied to traditional binaries as well. And who knows what's going to come around the corner in terms of different forms of trading, and maybe Nadex will get some competition. Okay, so all right, so Nadex just happens to be you can say the only game in town, just about, but which is, like I mentioned, needs to have some competition. But the principles you'll learn from these systems can be, on the most part, can be translated over to your regular day trading. So we teach price action based trading. Okay, meaning that we teach how to read a price chart in many different ways, many different angles, and yes, we use various tools and things like that. And we want you to be able to look at a price chart and just trade even without an indicator. And we're going to teach you those strategies too. Ultimately, all these strategies put together, okay, eventually will evolve into us teaching you how to become this super strategy trader. Okay. What's the super strategy trader? Well, first of all, we couldn't come up with a cooler name for it quite yet. So that's what we're using still, super strategy trader. So ultimately, it's a virtuoso level trader. What's a virtuoso? How about Eddie Van Halen on the guitar? I mean, you can argue about who the best guitar player is out there. You can go from instrument to instrument. You can go to vocalists. Usually they talk about instrumentalists. You can go to sports. You can say that Michael Jordan was a virtuoso basketball player. Pistol Pete certainly was. We want genius, brilliant level performance. We want to become one of the highest forms of traders on the planet. And that's the ability to master many, many strategies for two reasons. So you can master the strategy and be able to identify opportunity in real time. And then two, you can master strategy upon strategy, which will also start to synergize with other strategies for optimization. Okay. And also, we are teaching optimization factors in the strategies. We've started doing that 7, 8, 9 months in. Okay, and things are getting really powerful. And so we teach these two concepts here where we want to master a strategy, and we teach you how to master a strategy and what you need to do to actually assimilate it so you can use it on the fly. You can but you can also see and analyze price action in real time and be able to react in a most optimal way, in a way that has very high probability to, if you can use the word highest probability there is at the moment. Okay, but there's another factor. And the factor is that when you learn and master these strategies, you're going to be able to identify higher probability price action opportunities on the price chart. Yes, but what that does is that knowing these strategies brings clarity to what is lame, what is mediocre, and what to avoid. And that's very profitable too, because if you could avoid getting your money tied up in schmuck trades, in mediocre trades, in trades that just aren't even worth your time, and then just focused on the juiciest, the most highest of probability trades only, then guess what's going to happen? Well, you're going to become a better trader, and you're going to become a more profitable trader. And look, when we get our money tied up in mediocre trades, well, the money is stuck there, and we're, kind of wanting this thing to do something. And but in the meantime, a very good opportunity comes by. Think in terms of home runs, and then we can't take it because our money's tied up in some junk opportunity. Anyways, let me wrap this video up. This is the Binary Options Mastery Trading Coaching Program page. I'm going to have to make some more videos explaining what this is, but essentially you can ask us your questions. We've reduced the price for now, so I would most definitely, knowing what I know now, most definitely sign up for these, and get this main one, and then add these on too, as you like. All right, thanks.